Hey, what's happening? It's Bill Smith. Some of us were wondering if we'd ever hear from Q again. So we got a new Q post today. It's post 1682, that's 1682. Today is July 24th, 2018. I'll read the Q post to you now. It says, "From sea to shining sea, who does Huber report to directly?" Now, I believe that's Rosenstein. Pretty sure. Let me confirm that with you. Hang on. Okay, so that's the truth. Here's an article back on March 31st on the American Thinker. The article is titled, "Can Huber Investigate His Boss Rosenstein?" While it is reassuring to note that AG Jeff Sessions has climbed down from the backside of the milk carton, where his missing visage had been hiding. Man, I hate when these articles use these stupid words. Missing visage? Anyway. Long enough to appoint Utah U.S. Attorney Peter Huber to independently investigate claims of FBI abuses and surveilling the Trump campaign and other matters. One question remains. Can he investigate the commission of his boss, Rod Rosenstein, of a fraud upon the FISA court by signing a FISA warrant application that relied on a fake British-Russian dossier financed by Team Hillary and the DNC? Now look, this is, how many, is that almost 4 months ago? This is back at the end of March, man. That's before April. April, May, June, we're almost through July. This is old news, you know what I mean? Okay, I'll just continue on with the post. I zoomed in so you can see it if you're on your mobile there. So it says define evidence. Who has the server? So the server meaning the DNC server, the server that was supposedly hacked where Hillary Clinton's emails were released to WikiLeaks. And John Podesta's emails were released as well. Now, worth noting, there's a couple different issues here. Okay, Seth Rich is tied into this somewhere, and I think it's this right here. When they say who has the server, I think that is a Seth Rich component. Now, STG Report, he thinks the same thing. And he had a video up yesterday or 2 days ago that got his YouTube channel with 350,000 subscribers canceled. So if you have not gone and found STG Report's backup channel, please do so. I'll leave the link in the description below. Please sign up there because he's going to have to rebuild that whole channel. And that guy's way better than me and most of us in the QAnon community at reporting on this stuff. He's been doing it way longer. Okay, so please support STG Report. Okay, but he was talking about the Seth Rich leak as well. Now, the John Podesta leak, that happened on a spear phishing campaign because that was a Gmail hack. That wasn't Hillary Clinton's campaign mail. Why does Trump continually refer to the server? So I think that's just to keep it fresh, in the public eye. Like we just saw, this has been out for months. Okay, we've known about this for over a year and a half now. Almost 2 years. It's been 2 years now, hasn't it? Since the DNC leak occurred. So it's not new. Everybody knows about Huber. They've known about him since March. They know about him and his potential conflict with Rosenstein. POTUS does not speculate, the Q post says. Okay, so, the rest of us can see it. We can all see it. My question is why has it taken so long? Unless it's going to be time to bust right at the time when you hit the midterm elections, right? So like that 6-week news cycle of October into the November midterm, unless you're going to use it for the most damaging possible play, I don't know, man. I think that once they open this can of worms, there'd be so much to talk about, so you'd have way more to unload before you even got to the 6 weeks. I think I want to see results now. It's been 4 months. Future proves past. Who has it all? Topics stated in past. Future big meaning. So unless this is something we don't already know, I don't really want to go back through all the Q posts and reread all this stuff. I've read most of them. Most of them I've read multiple times. We've talked about it. We've exhausted these conversations, man. We know what's about to happen. It just needs to happen. If if that Q clock is there and I'm missing something, if somebody can look on the Q clock and tell me when Rosenstein is going to get fired, all right, I'm listening. But Lisa Mae Crowley, that thing came across her Twitter feed a few weeks ago, said Rosenstein was going to get fired, right? Remember Sheila Jackson with the pedo ring? And then Tucker said Podesta was going to get immunity, and that didn't happen. So I don't know if these little drops, these little markers on media are just to keep us talking about the same thing when nothing has really occurred. It's kind of what the rest of it talks about. So it says repeats important. Repeats important. Repeats important. Okay, so if I had to guess, I think that this is the QAnon stuff. We have gotten things out of it, and it's driven our conversation. But to be honest, if you knew about QAnon, or you know about QAnon right now, you knew about it a couple months ago, you're probably ahead of the curve and looking for this stuff for yourself. You know what I mean? You find it. I think what QAnon really has to do is it has to soften up the public for what's about to happen. And holy crap, man. I mean, remember how depressed you were whenever you started to find out about this stuff? You just don't want it to be real. So we're not dealing... It's 2018, friend. Internet's been around for a while. People know about most of this stuff. It's just a lot of people choose not to believe it. It's an actual conscious choice, I believe, on their behalf to not look into it, to not believe it. And, we haven't been doing... I think we've been overshooting our mark somewhat in the conspiracy stuff. I think the crazy stuff is cool, but... not every picture means something, a lot of them do. So a marked approach is important. I think they have to repeat this over and over and over on Twitter because that's the best way to get the public consciousness to start to soak it up. And for these people that don't want to believe it, to at least be introduced to the material so that when actual proof does show up in the real media, it shows up in government in some form of a hearing or something, they're primed. They could swallow that pill even if they've chosen not to in the past. So it says, those awake see, this is the Q post, those asleep are blind. The fake news, the prop arm of the D/DS is failing. Panic. Silence is golden. Q. So, I think this is just a check-in, man. I think this is all that's really there. It's just kind of a check-in. We're going to check out this, though. This just dropped just while I was talking to you, so give me a second to look at that. Okay, this last part, though, it says this fake news, the prop arm of the D and the DS, I think that's the Democrats and the deep state. Okay, so if you have missed this, the rising stars, there's rising stars in their party. This Ocasio-Cortez, she's running New York, she might win. Okay, I don't know if the Bronx is ever going to vote conservative. They're never going to vote for a Republican. So she might as well she's going to Congress probably. She'll be the youngest woman ever in Congress. She was working in a burrito shop 6 months ago. Slinging burritos. Okay, mixing drinks, giving you coffee, asking you, would you like a refill? Do you want a new drink? She was doing that 6 months ago. Now she's going to be the youngest congresswoman in history, and it's because she's calling for the abolition of the border, of immigration enforcement, of customs enforcement. She's pro drugs from Mexico. She's pro MS-13 openly. So she's going to win. It'll be in Congress. It's weird, So the fake news may be failing, but the Democrats have lost control of their party. And I don't want to see millennials turning to socialism, active socialism, as some sort of cure for the world. When they don't know anything, they've never paid taxes, half of them don't have jobs, they're living in their parents' basements. I was that kid once, right? And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to change the world. And then you realize, nope, don't work like that. So anyway, let me go read this other link. This thing that just popped. Let's go check it out. gosar.house.gov, uploaded files, criminal referral, PDF. Okay, one thing I want to mention, I don't know if I got this up before, but in that giant IG report, some of you guys missed this, but it talks about Hillary Clinton. Holy crap, hang on. Fighter jets, man. Land of the free, home of the brave, I tell you. Okay, I was talking about the IG report, and there's in one of the whistleblowers, the FBI guy, in one of the, man, I should just pull it up, but it's in that, and it talks about crimes against children on Hillary Clinton in that IG report. Not a lot of people have talked about that. I had a video, but I don't know if I uploaded it. Okay, this is that thing that was just linked. So it's back in April again. Okay, so it's addressed to Jeff Sessions, Chris Wray, and Huber. Huber? Let's see, who's it from? It's from Ron DeSantis, Andy Biggs, Jeff Duncan, Dave Bratt. All these are members of Congress. There's Paul Igosar. I don't know who this guy is, but it's uploaded to his thing on the House. I guess that's like his sub site, his little personal blog there. We should go check this stuff out. I bet there's a bunch of awesome stuff on these congressional websites. Okay, those are all the people I know. They're writing to Sessions, Wray, and Huber. So the big three, right? Not Rosenstein. They did not write this to Rosenstein on April 18th, 2018, while Rosenstein was active. So it says, we write to refer the following individuals for investigation of potential violations of federal statutes. In doing so, we are especially mindful of the dissimilar degrees of zealousness that has marked the investigations into former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and the presidential campaign of Donald Trump, respectively. Because we believe that those in positions of high authority should be treated the same as every other American, we want to be sure the potential violations of law outlined below are vetted appropriately. So there's a bullet point for each. I'm not going to read them out, but they talk about James Comey, Hillary Clinton, Loretta Lynch, former acting director of the FBI, Andy McCabe, who's already been fired, and I think he's been ejected, right? And FBI agent Peter Strzok and FBI counsel Lisa Page. The FBI, I think they were having sex, right? They were in like a lovers kind of thing. So anyway, this is old stuff, man. We know about all this. Like, I don't understand why Congress just doesn't do something. Just do something. Is this all you can do? Like, if you know all this stuff and you can specifically cite all this stuff, okay, you're even citing what she did, exact statutes of what they violated. This just means that Congress can't do anything. Okay, Congress is not there to prosecute anything. Their hearings suck. Look, I'm going to get off on a ramble here, all right? So don't hold me accountable for this long term. This is just my emotional feelings of being vetted. But Trey Gowdy, okay, I like this guy, but he's just a public speaker. He doesn't go up there and ask people questions and get them to entrap themselves. I would rather have somebody say, I take the Fifth Amendment 60 times than listen to Trey Gowdy, give a speech. I don't want to hear a speech, Trey. I want to hear you question these people and trick them with your questioning, your prosecutorial skill set. I want you to trick them into implicating themselves on record in front of Congress, right? We make such a big deal about getting these congressional hearings. You're like, oh my God, Zuckerberg's going to have to go in front of the congressional hearings, right? And then it turns out he did lie. Maybe he'll have to come back and explain himself. But if these people lie, they're not held accountable ever. They're not being held accountable now in the Trump era. And we've been talking about the same stuff now for 6 months, Trump's had control. We've had control of the presidency and Congress for, 2 years now. Coming up on a year and a half. Let's call it a year and a half. So what's taken so long? Why hasn't this happened yet? You can't tell me that it's just for the midterm elections, right? There's got to be more to it, because there would be so much more behind this. Once they get this stuff prosecuted, man, there would be more to talk about. So I'm out of time. That's the new Q post. Till next time, this is Bill Smith. Thanks for watching.